This morning at the House of Culture, Maria Otero, Undersecretary for the United States Government and Coordinator for U.S. Foreign Relations, met with the Belizean media for a press briefing. Otero, in her opening remarks, touched on a number of issues including transnational crimes and the homosexual agenda.
My visit represents the priority that President Obama and Secretary Clinton have for our bilateral relationship and partnership with Belize. I have been impressed by the caliber of so many of your dedicated public officials working hard in ministries, hand in hand with the members of civil society to tackle some of the most difficult challenges that is facing Belize today. From corruption and gang violence to creating economic opportunity for all the members of the Belizean society. The United States is pleased that Prime Minister Barrow has prioritized these issues for the second term of his administration, and we look forward to working together to tackle these complex challenges with concrete advancements and results. Our nations share common aspirations and common challenges, including transnational organized crime, drug trafficking, and threats to human rights for our most vulnerable populations.
The media posed questions to Otero in regard to U.S. foreign policy on countries that don't necessarily discriminate against homosexuals, such as Belize, but see the lifestyle as morally wrong.
I would comment by repeating the importance that we give to using the Universal Declaration of Human Rights as the basis for ensuring that dignity and freedom is available to every individual in a society, that enables every individual to have the rights that are pertinent to all others, regardless of whether that person suffers a disability, has a different sexual orientation, is a woman, or has any other characteristic that sometimes causes us to restrict the human rights that that person has. It's from that perspective that we see sexual orientation as one factor that we consider has to be respected. And that is the core of why we believe that issue needs to be looked at in the context of human rights.
Otero was asked if the U.S. would cut off financial aid to Belize as a means of coercing Belize into accepting their U.S. policies.
There's no way in which the aid that the United States is providing is conditioned by this issue. And again, if one looks at the principal freedoms that we have all signed on, your country and my country, that emerge from that very important declaration of the human rights, and note that those human rights extend to all of the principal freedoms that individuals need to have. That for us is the point of departure in addressing these concerns. And it's certainly one of the issues that continues to prevail in all societies, because this does not imply that for us in the United States all individuals are given full freedom of their rights. We still have a lot of work to do in order to accomplish that. And these are the principles that we believe are the most important as we proceed in our own society and in other societies.
Some Central American nations are discussing the decriminalizing of drugs. Otero was asked to respond to this.
Our sense of that meeting, and certainly our own position, which continues to be the position that we have held, is a position that does not believe that decriminalizing drugs is the proper approach to dealing with them. This is the position that the United States has held and will continue to hold. We don't believe that that is really the way to be able to address this issue. And we note also that the countries in Central America agree with that position. They also question whether decriminalizing is the approach that we can take to this issue.
The U.S. demand for drugs is a real factor, and with the transshipment of drugs through Central America, this creates a growing discontent amongst third world countries. The blame, Otero stated, is not to be laid only on the U.S. but on other countries as well. Otero responded that drugs have become a global problem.
There's no question that this, the threat that the drug trafficking presents is one that creates a shared responsibility. Certainly in the United States, we believe that we need to work hand in hand with the governments of Central America in order to be able to address it. As I mentioned, the hundreds of millions of dollars that we are putting forth to all the countries in Central America to help them build up their own capacity to address the issue through their police forces, through their other institutions, to be able to have access to the equipment and the technology that can also help them address this. But it is important to note that the consumption in the United States of cocaine in particular has decreased and it has gone down. But what is of great concern and very important is that the consumption has increased in many countries in South America in particular, but also in Europe. And so we are seeing that the problem is not a Central American one, but really a global transnational one.
Otero says that Belize has made great strides in battling human trafficking and that the relationship between Belize and the U.S. is very important, hence her visit.
The issue of trafficking in persons is a scourge that is present in every country, including the United States. And our efforts is to elevate the importance of that issue and to bring forth more action from all governments. We applaud the work that the Belize has done in this area and the advances that it has made, not only in prosecuting and convicting criminals that are associated with trafficking the most vulnerable of people in the societies, but also in being able to provide more protection to potential victims and being able to prevent some of the cases from happening by increasing public awareness and by engaging in an important way.
The Undersecretary also met with the Deputy Prime Minister in lieu of Prime Minister Barrow, who is out of the country.